They say if you want to catch a criminal, you have to think like one. Today, we revisit the Mentalist Cast then and now, and see how your favorite crime fighters have changed over the past 17 years. Brought to life by Simon Baker at the age of 38, Patrick Jane is a man of brilliant contradictions, charming, broken, and unreasonably good at what he does. Once a celebrity psychic basking in the limelight of deception, he lost everything when a serial killer named Red John killed his wife and daughter. Now, as a former independent consultant to the California Bureau of Investigation, he uses his ability to read people, manipulate conversations, and unsettle criminals to solve cases others can't touch. Jane pushes limits, laughs in the face of procedure, and still gets the job done. Every con, every setup, every trap he sets, it's all a means to an end. He smiles to cover the ache, performs to bury the grief. From him, we learn that sometimes the most put-together people are carrying the heaviest pain, so look deeper. Robin Tunney delivers a heartwarming performance as Teresa Lisbon, a woman of strength, restraint, and quiet resolve. Just 35 when she stepped into the role, Tunney brings to life a character who is far more than just a boss. Lisbon is Patrick Jane's anchor in a world full of ghosts. As the head of the CBI team, and later an FBI agent, she leads with integrity, never letting chaos or corruption bend her core. Through years of tragedy, manipulation, and impossible choices, she remains Jane's compass, confidant, and eventually, the love that heals him. She teaches us that real love takes patience, that the strongest people are the ones who stay through the mess, and that leadership isn't about being right. It's about being real, fair, and willing to carry others when they can't walk alone. Amanda Righetti takes center stage as Grace Van Pelt, a young agent with nerves of steel and a heart built on quiet conviction. Just 25 when she brought Grace to life, Righetti portrayed her with warmth, strength, and a soul deeply rooted in faith. Van Pelt begins as the tech-savvy rookie of the CBI team, but across seasons, she becomes so much more: a fierce investigator, a loyal friend, a loving wife, and eventually, a mother. She survives tragedy, betrayal, and near death to build a life of peace with Wayne Rigsby. Leaving law enforcement behind, they open a business to fight cybercrime and protect the vulnerable. It serves as a reminder that trusting your values doesn't make you weak, that growth comes from hardship, and that love and purpose don't always come with a badge. Sometimes they come when you choose peace over proving yourself. Tim Kang was orchestrated by Kimble Cho, a man of few words and unwavering integrity. At age 35, Kang carved out a performance that didn't need dramatics to leave a mark. Cho is the team's silent force. Not flashy like Jane, not mothering like Lisbon. Just present, clear, focused. He's the interrogator, the listener, the one who sees what others miss, because he's not trying to be seen. His dry humor is a lifeline in a world of chaos, and his journey, from law-abiding agent to a man quietly wrestling addiction, proves there's depth behind every stoic expression. One discovers that quiet doesn't mean emotionless, that you don't have to be loud to lead, and that even when life shakes your core, staying true to your values is a strength more powerful than any clever line or trick. Josie Loren graces the screen as Michelle Vega, a determined rookie agent with something to prove and everything to protect. At just 27, she brings to life a woman shaped by discipline, haunted by duty, and quietly carrying the weight of sacrifices made. Raised by a military father who urged her toward West Point, Vega obeyed, but left when he fell ill. That choice, rooted in love, carved a permanent line between who she wanted to be and who she had to become. Now part of Dennis Abbott's FBI team, Vega shows up not with ego, but with fierce attention and honest questions. She's green, but not naive, careful, but not timid. Her presence forces others to reflect, especially Patrick Jane, whose chaos brushes against her order. Vega doesn't talk much about herself. She lets her steps, her stance, and her silence say it all. One realizes that showing up with honesty is more powerful than pretending to have all the answers. Joe Adler slips into the character of Jason Wylie, a 20-year-old FBI agent specializing in computers, whose roots trace back to a quiet, rural Indiana town. Raised by a schoolteacher mother and a father who owned the local garage, Wylie's childhood was simple, almost uneventful. Yet beneath that calm surface, he found a fierce passion for technology early on, outpacing programmers twice his age, not out of competition, but because it was pure fun. Computers were his escape and his challenge until the FBI came knocking. After accelerating through college in just 3 years and dominating the FBI Academy's rigorous courses in half the time, Wylie now wields his skills to navigate high-stakes cyber investigations. His journey from a small town to the FBI's front lines reminds us that extraordinary talent often blooms where we least expect it. The takeaway is that humble beginnings don't limit the reach of extraordinary potential. Owain Yeoman assumes the role of Wayne Rigsby with rugged charm and quiet heart at just 29 years old. As a loyal CBI agent turned private investigator, Rigsby's strength isn't in swagger, it's in his sincerity. Always dependable in the field with his best friend Cho, and often the emotional backbone of the team, he balances brute strength with unexpected vulnerability. His love for Grace Van Pelt is never rushed or flashy. It's steadfast, protective, and real. He grows from a playful, awkward team player into a man who builds a business, a family, and a future. This confirms that showing up for the people you love over and over matters more than grand gestures, that it's okay to be both tough and tender. And that real strength is found in loyalty, growth, and knowing when to step away to protect what truly matters. Emily Swallow fills the shoes of Kim Fischer, a 33-year-old FBI senior agent whose fire was forged in the unyielding discipline of her Southern upbringing. Raised by two high-powered lawyers who valued ambition above affection, Fischer learned early that success wasn't optional, it was expected. She didn't just rise to meet those standards, she crushed them. Top of her class, a star in athletics, straight into the FBI Academy. But beneath the polished exterior of this ex-homicide detective from Dallas is a woman who had to grow into her own voice. Intelligent, assertive, and unafraid to challenge anyone, including her superiors, Fischer is not just playing the game, she's rewriting it. The secret is that true strength isn't found in being the best, it's in knowing exactly who you are when no one's watching. Eric Winter transforms into Craig O'Loughlin, a 33-year-old FBI agent whose charm disarms just as easily as it deceives. A former NFL player whose career was cut short by injury, O'Loughlin traded shoulder pads for a badge, but never lost the competitive edge. He entered Grace Van Pelt's life at her most vulnerable, sliding into her heart with a perfect smile and polished confidence. But beneath the surface lived a man wearing too many masks. He wasn't brave in the moments that counted, and when bullets flew, his instincts betrayed him and her. Van Pelt couldn't see it, but Rigsby did. The betrayal cuts deepest, not because he was a traitor, but because he was almost the man he pretended to be. Word of advice: sometimes the wolf doesn't wear sheep's clothing. He wears a suit, a badge, and a ring. Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor takes up the mantle of Madeleine Hightower, the commanding force behind the Sacramento CBI office, portrayed with unwavering precision at 41. She enters a fractured system not to blend in, but to clean house, with no apologies. A former Fresno PD chief and a woman navigating the turbulence of a strained marriage and motherhood, Hightower doesn't wear her burdens, she works through them. She replaces a legacy, inherits Jane's chaos, and still holds her own with spine and structure. When she warns Patrick Jane that Lisbon, not he, will pay for his recklessness, it's not fear she's sowing, it's foresight. Hightower doesn't wield power to intimidate, it's to protect what matters, including a team that often tests her patience. She is the reminder that authority doesn't require volume, only clarity. And then it hits you. Leadership isn't about pleasing people. It's about making choices no one else wants to make and living with them. Rockmond Dunbar presents himself as Dennis Abbott at the age of 40, a steady force forged by a lifetime of responsibility. Raised in Texas by parents who taught him to put others first, Abbott carries that weight with quiet strength. An Iraq war veteran and former DEA agent, he's seen the darkest sides of human nature but chooses calm and clarity over anger. Leading his FBI team with measured authority, he navigates chaos with a steady hand, never losing sight of the people behind the cases. Abbott's past battles shaped him, but it's his present loyalty to his team, especially Lisbon and Jane, that defines him. His leadership is not just about control, it's about creating space for others to grow, to question, and to fight alongside him. In him, discipline meets compassion, and every choice echoes a legacy of sacrifice and service. It becomes clear that real leadership is measured by the trust you build, not the power you wield. Michael Gaston graces the screen as Gail Bertram, the 47-year-old director whose concern isn't justice, it's headlines. A master of optics, Bertram plays chess with reputations, including his own. Calm behind cameras and sharp in a suit, he's less a leader and more a politician in a room full of wolves. Jane fascinates him, but he doesn't trust him. Not because of what Jane does, but because of what Jane sees. Bertram's pragmatic enough to use him, wary enough to keep his distance. But when the Blake Association cracks and the Red John mask begins to slip, Bertram's own reflection starts to look guilty. He isn't the killer, but by the end he's no innocent. Killed not by Red John, but by loyalty to a corrupt system, Bertram becomes its final offering. The kicker? You can spend a lifetime outrunning guilt, but it only takes a moment of truth to catch you. Rebecca Wisocky enters upon the duties of Brenda Shettrick, the 38-year-old communications director who didn't just manage the message, she rewrote it. She mastered perception, shaped stories, and silenced controversy with practiced precision. But beneath her media polish lay a dangerous duality. As the trusted voice of authority, Brenda maintained a flawless public image. Behind closed doors, she whispered to criminals, her leaks giving monsters room to roam free. Her betrayal cut deep because it came from someone who smiled, nodded, and played the part perfectly. Trust me on this. Evil doesn't always shout. It sometimes whispers through carefully written statements and backdoor deals, all signed with a smile. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Mentalist Cast, then and now. These faces, these voices, they shaped one of television's most captivating stories. If you enjoyed this walk down memory lane, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more timeless cast transformations and unforgettable stories. Until next time, trust your instincts, question everything, and follow the clues.